Let's check this out. She said this is the backup plan for many women who don't like their job.
I think it's such a blessing being a girl because, like, I just be thinking when I'm at my internship, like, oh, if I dead don't like corporate, like, for the rest of my life, I could just start posting on Instagram like crazy, get a rapper, probably get cheated on, but you get the clout, then use the clout to start your own YouTube channel. Then people keep on watching you, trying to see if you still back with old boy. And that's the backup plan for a lot of girls. I'm just saying it out loud.
Really? I mean, I guess with a plan B that sounds that good and it's just, I guess you could say, airtight, what the hell is she bothering with her plan A for? No, but seriously. Now, let me say this. A part of her delusion probably has to do with her youth. She's talking about doing an internship, meaning she's still in college. So probability of her really being out there experiencing what the real world is like is probably relatively low. But let's check out some of the comments. First commenter says, this ain't gonna work for all women. You pretty, so you can say this. Another commenter says, I thought I was the only one who thought like this. And guys, if you haven't figured it out by now, TikTok has pretty much become the meeting hub for modern women to be able to share and find a space where they can feel like they're like-minded in their delusional mindsets and their attitudes. Next commenter says, your backup plan is some girl's main plan. Wow, and that's just kind of sad. Another commenter says, my backup plan is to get married to a rich man who keep a low profile but let me pop my ish. Forget the BS. Another commenter says, marrying rich is my backup plan. And guys, this really does give you a glimpse into how some women think when it comes to their ability to access rich, successful men and their belief that these men are just going
like,
to allow...
do women think that there's so many rich, successful men out there who are not married, who do want to get married, bachelors?
Them to pretty much go about their way, living a lifestyle that pretty much allows them to do what they want with no rules or boundaries in place. And the last comment says, it's a solid plan B with a consistent success rate. And guys, here's what's the interesting thing about this topic after you kind of get past the laughs of it all and kind of making fun of this mentality and everything, is the fact that this is what has been born because of social media. Because now average everyday women are now receiving this excessive attention and this excessive exposure where they themselves believe unrealistically that they have access to a very small percentage of men. And sure, don't get me wrong, we do see cases where highly successful men, whether they're in the rap industry or entertainment or whatever it is, end up reaching out to women who are just average everyday women.
Hi Fancy, it's my first time here too.
But realistically speaking, because an attractive woman nowadays is pretty much a dime a dozen, they're pretty much playing the lottery when it comes down to the actual chances that that's going to really happen and end up becoming a reality.
So this comment says that I'm missing out on my young adult years because
I like this.
Kids.
Listen to what she's gonna say.
Most 22-year-olds my age are, you know, partying. They're not established. You know, I have four little ones. I'm married. I have a nice house. My husband has a good job. I have a car. Like, my life is established. So for some, partying, going out every weekend is like fun. Like, that's not fun for me, and I'm not missing out on anything. Sorry, I had to pause the video. Cass shit her diaper, had to go change her diaper. But like, I'm not missing out. Like, I'm young, I get to raise my kids, we get to grow up together, and my kids are all gonna be grown by the time I'm 38. And that's when I'll get to go out and travel and everything. And honestly, it'll be better because I'm more established.
I just want to rant real quick because I am so tired.
Honestly, like, I agree with both perspectives. I don't think there is a specific success or specific happiness that is equal to the lifestyle that a woman chooses, whether she wants to have babies young or when she gets older, or she want to devote her life and time first for her career or for marriage. As long as it makes you happy and as long as it fulfills you, at the end of the day, that's what matters, because who guarantees that you are going to survive tomorrow? Who guarantees how long you will be alive? So I think what is mostly important is to listen to yourself and listen to what makes you happy and do it. Just do it and don't care what other people say about it. Hi. Hi, Ella.
having to explain
Ella
myself
Fonti,
when I
welcome.
say that I want to be married and have children. Not eventually, like right now. I don't want to work. I have a job right now. I work my
And
ass
that's
off
completely
because I have
fine.
to, because I'm independent and have bills to pay. But I want to be married and have children, and that is not that is not an unnatural thing to want in my early 20s. Biologically, I am meant to have children now. This is the most fertile I'm ever going to be in my entire life. I don't know when the entire Western society became brainwashed to think that that is unnatural. That is the most natural. My purpose, my job on earth, my calling in
Yeah, we
my
saw this.
soul. I long to find somebody who will protect and provide for me while I bear children for him. I shouldn't have to explain that to every single person that I say this out loud to. You're the one who's wrong here.
Nobody's wrong though, right? Like, that is the thing. And she should not be like even raging to say this. This should have been so normal to talk about and say out loud without feeling ashamed. I don't know what happens to society.
Apparently there's no
I feel like I watched this video.
We have a problem.
We have a problem.
We have a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have problems.
And you know what? We do have a major problem. And probably the biggest problem we have right now is the lack of maturity, really, you find in young adults, young 20-something-year-old adults. But it didn't just start
Riaka,
like, in
thank
recent
you.
times. This has
Welcome.
been going on for quite some time now, if you really think about it. And it's not even really to any fault of the young adults who are going through it right now. This culture we have in America, this Western culture that we have in our society, where pretty much this is what we tell young adults. And you probably heard this yourself, where people will tell you, hey, go
live
out
your
and have
life,
as much
yeah.
fun as possible. Don't worry about
You're
taking
gonna
life
regret
too
it when you get
seriously
older.
while you're still young in your 20s. You should just be out enjoying life. Do as much stuff as you want to do. And then when you get older, you can worry about all of those responsibilities and things of that nature. You know, in the vacuum, that sounds okay. But when we really think about it, it's not. How you spend
Like,
your 20s.
let's be honest. Those are the advice that we get from our parents, grandparents. And if you're a bit older, like, those are really old generations. They got married really young. And when I say really young, it's like 16, 17, 18. Like, they're already in relationships. They're already getting married, having kids at 20. And now the life expectancy is getting higher and higher. And a lot of these people say, oh, take it easy, you know, live your life before you settle down and have children, because it was really tough for them. They didn't have a lot of opportunities for job. Mostly the guy only worked with one salary and income, and the woman had to stay and raise the kids. Yes, the expenses were not the same. Even like studying and schoolery and that stuff like that for the kids were not the same and as much expensive. It's a different age. It's a different time. But I do understand where they come from when they say, oh, take your time, you know, and live easily. But I don't think there is anything wrong in even marrying young and having kids and figuring out life as you go. But education, it is very important. And I think the younger you educate yourself and you go through that, the easier it is, because later throughout the years, first you are older, it is harder to learn. But also if you have more responsibilities like a husband, kids, whatnot, then it is so difficult because you need to work as well. You know, one salary today is not enough.
Is pretty much setting you up for a foundation of what your 30s and beyond are going to start to look like. And nowadays, what do we see more now than ever? Women pretty much being encouraged to go out, live your best life. Go out and be the best 304 you can be. Go out and rack up as many bodies as you want. Go out and party and drink and sleep with as many guys as you can to get
terrible.
the experience. And then as you're getting closer to 30, 31,
That's
32.
like literally, I traveled around the world. If I say experience, I experienced having so many friends, socializing, going through the motion of being in a theater plays, being an amateur actress, being a hip hop dancer, being this, being that. Like, I tried so many things and I did so many things that has nothing to do with including bodies and males like that. I had relationships in my life, of course, but those were like 3-4 years long relationships. You know, like in a decade, I would have 2 relationships. So I would say that's for me, that's enough experience about men and relationships that I learned from, and I didn't have to have these bodies to live my best life or whatever, you know. And I finished university. I have a bachelor degree in English and literature language. I was a teacher. I was I did so many jobs before I even started with YouTube and streaming, and that's my experience in my life in my 20s. Now I'm in my 30s and it is so different. You know, now I can say to myself that I don't regret anything that I went through because it made me who I am today, and it made me realize what I want to do and what makes me happy, and how to live my life.
Then start thinking about the qualities you're looking for in a man that are important to you when it comes to wanting to raise a family. And it may not be the only reason, but I don't think we can deny the correlation between the breakdown of the American family today and the message that is being told to young women.
If I'm lying, I'm dying.
A man one time told me he was a sex addict. He can smell when a girl is getting horny. No lie.
I can feel it.
And he was right. That
Yeah.
was the crazy thing. I like test
Smell it
him.
or
And
feel it?
No, he can smell. Like he can sit next to you and he can smell like, oh yeah, she horny.
Damn, that's
It's time.
crazy.
Like that's
What?
how addicted he was.
Wow.
He knew
Ew.
what the smell. I mean, if it smelled like fish, that's different. But
Ew.
the scent.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
He should be
Like,
added to
imagine
Marvel
a guy next to you. Imagine a guy sitting next to you and be like, "You smell horny."
superheroes. I want to be that man's student. He should be found and be the main speaker at the next men's conference. Hey, listen, it seems like a lot of guys wish they had that skill and ability. But like an old wise uncle who died a tragic death once said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Uncle
What's a high value
Ben!
man?
A high value man.
Yeah.
Someone with a lot of money who's very old.
Old.
That's a high value man. A lot of money and old.
Why do you have to be old?
So he
So
can
that
die
and I get
fast.
the money.
Stop it. Get some help.
Y'all don't pretend you provide no more. It's always talking. Y'all don't really do anything anymore. Every day on Twitter, we're having this 50-50 conversation constantly when most of y'all aren't even in relationships. One, two, y'all don't even pay your own bills. Y'all be under woman most of the time having this conversation constantly.
I don't think that's true. Like, I mean, the data would show that black men still out earn black women. So this whole every black woman seems to have all this money. I don't know where y'all at. It might be a minority, but it's not what y'all think. They go for the Pookies and Ray Rays, and then now their whole life experience is over Pookies and Ray. So that must be all black men. That's not all black men. That's the black men y'all choose to go after.
One thing that you should come to realize is that people will let you know what their reality is and the type of people they surround themselves with, usually by what they complain about, or at least what they talk about the most in life. If you're around someone who's always talking about how their friends are asking them for money, chances are they surround themselves with a lot of broke people. Versus if you're around someone who's always talking about the game and the knowledge they're receiving from people who are trying to help them do better. And the same thing goes for this, because I believe everything she said to be true. Because the people who she decided to surround herself with, that is exactly what they have to offer to her. But the fact of the matter is, despite what you might see on movies and in television and what media tries to portray, life doesn't just kind of happen by coincidence. You have to actually be intentional with your actions and what you want. And most importantly,
That's true.
do the work it takes in order to put yourself in a better position to be able to have it.
But Star, what would you say to the guy that's cautious about the fact that you have 5 children?
5 kids?
That's cautious.
She's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
young.
because 5 kids. I mean, if he takes you on, do you want to get married one day?
Yeah, I want to get married.
You're a damaged goods lady.
So he would have to accept you and 5 children, and if he's a real man, that means he has to provide for you and 5 other people. So he has to provide for 6 people. What would you say?
Hell to the no, no. Hell no.
She's
You
a
get
spawner. Oh
married
no.
to a man, he's providing for you in some way, and if not, he's definitely compromising. He's living in a house with kids that he didn't create, 5 of them. So what would you say to the guy that might be cautious?
I don't think so, because I got this. I got this, that. I got this. Don't.
Get the French toast out of here.
I got this.
Okay, do you understand the compromise? If you were to marry a man, you have young kids, 11 and 9, 6, 5, 1-year-old. Y'all will all have to live together. So there are some men who, you know, this could, if they want to build a life, right? This is why I think you guys should think about this before you have kids, because now you say you want to get married, but you want to marry a man who's not the father of your child, of your children, excuse me. So you want this man to live in a household And he would be a provider because he's living in a household with your children, 5 kids. So
Yeah.
any man that's thinking about his life and planning for it, he would have to think about that. He would need a bigger car. He would need a bigger house, more groceries, more field trips. He has to bend his whole life for you and your
So
children
true.
that are not his children. So for the guy that is thinking about, I don't know if I want to sign up for that, what would be your response?
Run, bitch!
Okay, I feel you. But this comment is really pissing me off. Like, that's 5 Happy Meals. So, on kids, I know how to cook. I know how to clean. My house stay clean. I don't care about nothing what y'all talking about.
Emotional damage.
He can get a cleaning
And the
lady.
reality is, it's just really sad when
So much
young women
cheaper.
like this have so many kids at such a young age. Because despite however much money she's going to be able to earn, she's going to always be limited in what kind of men will give her attention. And what she and women like this fail to realize is that men judge you by your past. And a woman who's already has multiple kids by multiple men, for a man who doesn't have kids, been responsible and disciplined, and who's worked on becoming the best kind of man he can be, the risk-reward factor for even being with that woman for recreational use only isn't even worth it.
This is what I mean. He's fucking dumb.
I hated this clip. When I saw it the first time, I hate it so much. It's a gender reveal. This is her husband. This is in front of family and people close to you that you care about. And the first reaction you do is, this is what I am saying. So it's not the first time you said it. He is so effing dumb. Saying that about your boyfriend, husband, the father of your child, upcoming child, like, that is so mean. And he's playing it goofily around. I feel so sad for this guy. I just want to like shake him and tell him, you deserve better. Everybody deserves better. This is not a way to speak to someone. This is what I mean. He's so dumb. This is what I mean. Like, you have said it so many times to random people. You are putting them also in an awkward position. Like, what are they gonna say? Oh yeah, he's dumb. Like, they're not gonna agree with you.
A few moments later.
She has hormones. Hey, Brown, don't at me, nah. That doesn't make you an asshole. I think he played her here. I think he did it on purpose just to show everyone what kind of a person she is. It's on camera. He's planning plan B. Okay. This is in case of divorce. Kiss? Man, the kid crying in the background. He's crying his lungs. Like, nobody cares. Like, he's like, quash. I hope he's fine. Oh no, another one of her. So both of the kid, I mean the kid and the mom is gonna be like, he's so dumb. Oh no.
Even though it looks like this man is screwed because it seems like he's at his own baby shower for his upcoming child. This is still a learning lesson because in about the span of just 1 minute, how many red flags did we catch right there?
So
Whether
many.
It's her natural response to insult this man when things aren't going her way because she didn't know that was a prank. And this is just another example of listen to a woman and she'll tell you everything you need to know. The devil is in the details. Listen to what she said. When she
Prank
makes the
your
statement,
woman.
This is what I mean. She's reiterating a previous statement she made to someone, insulting and demeaning
this
her
is what I
man, and
told
probably
you.
took place where she did it behind his back when he wasn't around, and he pretty much got to hold that L because
No. To be honest, with his reaction, he heard this. And he didn't say anything. He was laughing. So I honestly think he stands there in the middle of the circle where she talks shit about him. he's like, yeah, I'm awful. I am awful. I'm so dumb. I'm so effing dumb. Yes. Meh. Yes, I am. Like, literally, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Within the community, being classy is considered corny.
Maybe he likes it.
And I tell the brothers that watch me on my channel, keep doing your thing, keep doing your thing, keep doing your thing. What's not cool right now is you become an adult, you're going to find your own space. You're going to find your own communities. And the thing
my community
you from that, it's probably what's going to make you either a lot of money or just successful within your purpose, within your own right. Find what you're purposeful about.
I'm gonna just add.
I would not say a lot of money, but successful in what I'm doing, finding my own place, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
This, but shout out to MTV.
Making me happy, that for sure.
To a channel. Make sure you go ahead and check it out.
All right.
You realize as you get older, especially and the younger you are and the sooner you can realize this, the better off you'll probably be, is that you really can't concern yourself about what other people think. Far too often, especially for the young men out there, you can end up wasting too much time not getting things done or not trying things out or not just embracing who you are or becoming the best version of yourself.
Oh, Kick is a streaming platform. I should try it. I went for it. And I'm not regretting it.
You doing whatever it is that you're attempting to do, and how everybody's going to have an opinion on things you're doing with your life. The sooner you can get over the fact that people are always going to have an opinion and you should really not care or give a damn about what their opinion is, the better off you'll be, the more likely you are going to be to embrace who you are and fully reach your potential. Guys, as always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Always appreciate your feedback.
Man,
You've been enjoying the
Charles
content.
is the best.
Hit the like, subscribe button to continue watching more. And as always, until next time.
Until next time. Good job. I honestly enjoyed Charles' perspective compared to that other guy that I don't know his name. How old is this?